Hey there, welcome. Our goal today is super simple. We're going to master 24 really important words that you'll need for your big test. We're going to break them all down into small, easy-to-remember groups so you can really learn them, understand them, and most importantly, use them with confidence. Ready? Okay, let's dive right in.
So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to tackle these words in 5 simple groups. We'll start with feelings, then move to actions and places, then talk about order and chaos, then words for stories, and we'll finish up with some big ideas. Trust me, learning words and themes like this is a fantastic way to make them stick in your brain.
All right, first up, let's talk about feelings. This first batch of words is all about the different ways we feel about people, about things, and about different situations. Our very first word is ambivalent. Let's say it together. Ambivalent. You see that little part at the beginning, ambi? That means both. So if you feel ambivalent, it means you have mixed feelings. You feel two opposite ways about something at the exact same time. Like, imagine you get a great new job offer. You're excited about the job, right? But you're also really sad to leave your friends behind. Feeling both happy and sad, that is being ambivalent. Next, we have a really nice word, amiable. That's pronounced amiable. This one's pretty simple. It just means someone is friendly, they're pleasant, they're easy to like. Think of a tour guide at a museum who is super warm and welcoming and makes you feel comfortable. That person is amiable. Now, this is a really important point, so pay close attention here. People often mix up amiable with a very similar word, amicable. Here's the key difference. Amiable describes a person, so you can say, Julio is an amiable guy, he's friendly. But amicable describes a situation or an agreement. It means something is done politely without a fight. So Julio and Clarissa can have an amicable divorce. The situation was polite, even if they didn't feel very friendly toward each other. So remember, amiable for a person, amicable for a situation. Got it? Okay, let's talk about love with our next word. Amorous. It's pronounced amorous, and you can probably spot the clue in there, amor, which means love. So this word describes that feeling of being in love, especially in a romantic way. You might see an amorous couple at the movies, holding hands and just looking totally in love. All right, now let's flip to the other side and look at 3 powerful words for some really strong negative feelings. They seem similar, but they have key differences. First, we have anguish. Say it with me, anguish. This is deep, deep suffering, like the terrible pain an accident victim might feel. Then there's animosity, N-A-M-O-S-A-T. This is a strong, active hostility or dislike, like the feeling between 2 rival sports teams. And finally, antipathy, antipathy. This is a really deep, personal dislike of something specific. For example, some people have a real antipathy toward bananas wrapped in ham. It's a firm, personal dislike. So quick review, anguish is deep pain, animosity is active hatred, and antipathy is a strong dislike. Okay, let's switch gears and move on to our second group. These words are all about actions, making agreements, and describing the features of the places around us. Here are 3 really useful A words. First up, ameliorate. Ameliorate. This is just a fancy way to say make a bad situation better. For example, playing some music might ameliorate the prisoner's sad mood. Second, we have amenable. Amenable. If you're amenable, it means you're willing to agree to something. If your plumber is amenable to letting you pay the bill next week, it means he agrees to it. And finally, amnesty. Amnesty. This is an official pardon for a big group of people. A government might offer tax amnesty to people who haven't paid, meaning they forgive the crime if they pay up.
Next up is a word you've probably experienced, amenity. Amenity. An amenity is basically a nice extra feature that makes a place more comfortable or fun. When you go to a nice hotel, the swimming pool, the gym, the free breakfast, all of those are amenities.
Our next word is apartheid, pronounced apartheid. Now, this is a very specific and important historical word. It was the official government policy in South Africa that forced racial segregation. It was a system designed to keep people apart based on their race. It's a heavy word, but really important to know. Okay, on to our third section. Here we're going to look at words that describe what happens when things get a little messy. Words for when things are out of order, in the wrong time period, or just don't have any shape at all. This slide shows a perfect pair of opposites. On one side, you've got monarchy, which is a country ruled by one leader, like a king or queen. And the direct opposite of that is anarchy. Anarchy means no leader, no rules, just total chaos. Imagine a kindergarten teacher leaves the room for just 30 seconds. The classroom might fall into a state of complete anarchy. Our next word is amorphous. It's pronounced amorphous. The easiest way to remember this is that amorphous means no shape. Something that's amorphous doesn't have a clear form. It's kind of like a cloud or a blob of jello. If your teacher says your essay is amorphous, it's not a compliment. It means it's disorganized and doesn't have a clear structure. Oh, this is a fun one. Anachronism. Anachronism. An anachronism is something that's just in the wrong time period. Just picture this. You're watching a movie about ancient Rome, and one of the gladiators is wearing a digital watch. That watch is an anachronism. Or even better, imagine a knight in shining armor pulling out a smartphone to check his email. That is the perfect example of an anachronism. Next up, we have anomaly. That's A-N-N-O-M-A-L-E. An anomaly is something that's different from what's normal or what you'd expect. It's an irregularity, something that doesn't quite fit. Seeing snow in the winter, that's totally normal. But seeing a snowy day in the middle of July, that would be an anomaly. All right, let's shift gears again. Our fourth group is all about communication. It's about the words we use to tell stories, to explain ideas, and to talk about whether something is actually true or not. So, how do we do that? How do we explain a brand new idea to someone or share a quick, interesting little story? Well, the words on our next slide give us some perfect tools for that. Here we go. First, an analogy. Analogy. An analogy is a comparison you make to explain something tricky. You've probably heard the famous one, life is like a box of chocolates. That's an analogy. Next, an anecdote. Anecdote. This is just a short personal story, like when you tell your friends a funny anecdote about something your dog did. And finally, an aphorism. Aphorism. This is a short, wise saying that states a general truth, kind of like a proverb. And here is a perfect example of an aphorism. One cannot think well, love well, or sleep well if one has not dined well. See how that works? It's short, it's clever, and it says something that feels true about life in just one sentence. It's memorable, isn't it? That's the power of a great aphorism. Now, for the last word in this group, apocryphal. It's pronounced apocryphal. An apocryphal story is one that is probably not true, but it gets told over and over again as if it is. Think of all those urban legends or crazy celebrity rumors you hear. If someone tells you a story about Martians landing in Congress, yeah, that story is almost certainly apocryphal. And just like that, we've made it to our final section. You're doing great. This last group has some big, abstract ideas. We're talking about words for morality, opposites, perfection, and even the end of the world. Okay, let's break these 5 big ideas down one by one. First, amoral. Amoral. This means lacking a sense of right and wrong. A newborn baby, for example, is amoral. It isn't good or bad, it just is. Next, antecedent. Antecedent. This is just something that comes before something else. Then we have antithesis. Antithesis. This is the direct, complete opposite of something. If Aaron is generous and Aaron is selfish, you could say Aaron is the antithesis of Aaron. After that, we have apocalypse. Apocalypse. This one you might know. It refers to the end of the world. And finally, apotheosis. Apotheosis. This is the absolute perfect example of something, its highest possible form. For some car lovers, a Corvette is the apotheosis of American muscle cars. So, after all that, let me end with the question for you. Which of these words, when we started, felt like the antithesis of easy to learn? And more importantly, which one, after going through this, now feels a lot less difficult for you? Keep practicing, and I promise you are going to